Hello folks, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Beast of Cill Chonn Morannach from Mierce Miniatures. Okay, so looking at the model then, the main body is a hunky piece of resin. Now I have gone in here and removed the sprue gate from the bottom, and you can see there's a couple of little air holes in the base around the ass end. Although it's not a major issue because you're not going to see those. Detail is very sharp. You can see all the little skulls of the tiny dead people coming through the root and moss and bog. Some nice texture on the back as well. And then these massive projecting standing stones. See little holes here and there. We'll get to those in a moment. But there's also some very fine detail with vines, branches, roots, whatever it happens to be, sort of binding the earth and the moss and the bog together. So, that's the main body. There are also two arms. Again, lots of nice detail. Two legs. I pop them there and there. You'll get a kind of idea where we're going. So that all looks great so far. And then there are these, which I have not taken out. So these are tiny roots and branches. You can see one of the sprues says back, the other says branches. And these have to be attached to this beast. And there are very specific points for specific ones to go. Now, they've come off the sprue, it's fine, they're inside a bag. I don't know which goes where now. It's not going to be a major issue for these because they're just little twiglets that stick out. However, there is chunks out of some of the branches. There are chunks out of some of the branches. So there's a specific piece that bridges this gap, which hopefully I'll be able to find. There's no build instructions. You just have to go by the images on the website. So for example, I think there's another one somewhere on this, but you don't have a full 360 degree, which is a bit of a shame. And then there's none in one of the legs and two in the other leg, I think. So yeah, going to be interesting working out where those bits go, and indeed if I'm going to put them all on. But you'll find out because I'm just going to be back with it built. Alright, I'm back and Morannach is built. Should be on an 80mm round for Darklands. I'm not using it in Darklands, so it's on a 50mm square for Kings. Build was, as I expected, relatively simple for the majority of it. Legs, arms, head, or torso rather. But branches. So I found a picture somebody had done online where I found two on the back of this, not one, and they fit in very neatly. This one I found that was the gap. This big one, I never worked out exactly where it went, but the end of this root had broke off at some point, so I just carved it down and glued it on, and it looks fairly intrinsic. There should be one in this little hole from all accounts. And as you can see, these ones up top kind of went in wherever I wanted, really. I did put another one in here, and then while I was attempting to glue one in the top, I broke it off with my finger because they are very thin. And in fact, I've still got several left. So the back of this knee, there you go, you can just see a little triangle of holes. So I believe there's meant to be 3 coming out of that. It's potential Or it's possible that there's some more coming out of other legs as well, but at this stage, I'm happy enough with how that looks. I just need to do a little bit of gap filling. Overall, the cast is very clean. You can see a slight seam line running down here. I'm not entirely certain where all the seam lines are going to show. So what I'm going to do is fill the gaps that have appeared where I've gone for joins. This back end and this back end, the sprue gate sat on top of those arms, so I had to carve them away to get a tight fit, because there are some places where you have veins or root structure, whatever you want to call it, coming off them. So it was a case of trying to hide it on the back end rather than have it very visible on the front. But yeah, overall, really nice model. It is, for those wondering at home, boom, 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 from stump to eye, about 60 mil. And all the way to the top there, we are looking at about 80, so about 85 mil to the top of the top of a stone. But yeah, a really nice, interesting and unusual monster. It should be really good for Kings of War, and if you played Darklands, let me know what it's like below. I've not had a chance to explore it, but there we are, Morannach. So there we have it. If you're into your Darklands, it's a mammoth creature that you can use to pummel your enemies into oblivion. Or if you're after just a creepy, massive bog beast for other fantasy gaming, then Morannach is definitely one to take a look at. It's an absolute nightmare on the tabletop. I just love how it just imposes itself everywhere and will stump you to death if needs be. But let me know what you think below. If you played Darklands, I'd be really interested in that as well, because it seems like a game that needs more explanation and exploration. Until next time, bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.